Hey guys, I am coming to you with a quick update on my journey in nursing school during a pandemic. Right now I am in my second semester, which is Med Surg 1, and I just had my first exam, which was yesterday. And I'm just going to share how I felt coming out of my exam, um, as well as um, the response I got from my cohorts. Um, I walked away pretty discouraged. It was a very difficult exam. We had 85 questions, 110 minutes to complete the exam. And a lot of the questions were fill in the blank. We had several, I'll say maybe 11 questions that consisted of a whole paragraph that was needed to actually hit every point in the question, which was like um, the patho behind COPD, the risk factors, nursing implications. So it was a lot of stuff that you had to um, go into detail, and then you had to type it out. And we also had one question that I think I skipped altogether because it would have took me about 15 minutes just to get it in the correct numerical order. And it was like 12 options, and out of the 12, list which one goes first. And so just reading that and trying to process that was just difficult. I think I just kind of winged it, and I'm hoping that we'll get partial credit for it. Um, I went into my exam feeling extremely prepared. Um, However, I don't feel that it was a fair exam. And so in lab, we actually had a quiz. So we had our exam at 8 a.m. And then in lab at 1 p.m., we had a quiz for the new material that we started on for week 4. So we had an exam and a quiz in the first day, or on the same day. And I just kind of let my teacher know how I was feeling when she asked us. So she agreed to go over the exam and see what she can do to help us, because from my understanding, everyone feels like they failed. And if everyone feels like they failed, it's not everyone, it's the exam. And she did agree with us that we did not have enough time to complete the exam. So that's something else that she's taken into consideration. Um, I hit all the pointers, or all the points on my study guide. However, it was some things that the exam was asking me that I've never went over. One being hypoxia. So we were doing ABGs, and we had to determine if it was metabolic or respiratory acidosis or alkalosis. And we also had to determine whether or not it was compensated or not compensated. Okay, so in our last lecture, she told us that we really didn't have to worry about the compensation or not compensation. But not only did she include that in this exam, she also added on hypoxia, which we never discussed. And so I was a little bummed. I had to guess a lot of questions because I just didn't know what that meant as far as ABGs are concerned. I'm just now getting the whole concept of an ABG. Let's start there. And I thought going into it, I was, I knew what I was doing. No, I don't feel confident with this first exam, but I digress. It's just the first exam, and obviously, myself and everyone in my particular cohort is going to have to work extra hard for exam 2, 3, and 4 in the final. So, how I studied, I basically studied while I was at work. So, she did give us a study guide, and what I did was I went through everything on the study guide and I answered it, typed it out, printed it. I also looked on YouTube, registered nurse RN. She really helped me with learning my ABGs. I did use the Rome method, which it works for me. My instructor, she also gave us another method called Who's Your Daddy, which seemed okay, but at this point, I'm already confused. So I stuck with what I was able to grasp, which was the Rome method, determining the ABGs. Let's see. On top of having an exam yesterday, we have so much work to do. And just when I feel like I'm ahead, I get another email of what needs to be completed within the next week. And so I'm not trying to complain. I knew going into nursing that it was going to be difficult, and it was very challenging. However, I did not know the magnitude of how much time I would be spending, the amount of homework that I would be doing, and I'm not sharing what I've experienced to discourage you. However, just know that if this is something that you're interested in doing, something you have a passion to do, be ready to work very hard for it. I didn't believe it. Like last semester was okay. This semester, my God, I am not able to interact with my friends, with my family, the way that I want to. I'm literally at work studying. When I go home, I try to take a nap. And then with this COVID, I also have to do homeschooling. So I have to make sure that my kids are on pace with what they're supposed to do, and completing their assignments and answering questions and responding to emails with that. And then I also have this whole other bulk of work that I have to do of, just maintaining my household, making sure I'm feeding my children, making sure that I'm showering. It's a bit overwhelming, but I know that the payout is grand. So thus far, I would say that nursing school is nursing school. It's difficult. If you want it, you'll do it. I was discouraged yesterday because I walked away like just upset. Like I felt attacked taking that exam. Like the last 30 questions I rushed through because I didn't want to run out of time completing them. And I'd rather have no answer or the wrong answer and guess as opposed to not having anything at all. So we discussed that as well. So hopefully next exam they will give us more time. Our exams were proctored. That's another thing. It was very interesting. It took us a while to even sit down to take the exam because, of course, our instructor had to, check our surroundings, make sure we weren't cheating, look at our cell phones. Like, it was intense. So, that has been my experience for the first exam. I will update you guys after my next exam, and hopefully I have better news. But I really don't have a recommendation on how to successfully do the exam because I read all my material. Um, I did all of my assignments. I looked at all the YouTubes and I retook several practice exams. And I feel like what I was studying, what I was reading, what I was doing was not on that exam. So, I mean, with the exception of a few things, but for the most part, I felt attacked. Like, it's no way that she pulled this exam from the material that she assigned to us, but what can you do? So, hopefully, she's going to do some adjustments because she did notice a few things that she did inaccurately, as well as adjusting some points because she knew that several of her students just completely missed some of the same questions. And I'm assuming it may have been one of the ones that I skipped as well because I was not about to spend 15 minutes on one question that was worth 1 point. I wasn't about to do it, especially when I had like 64 questions I needed to do in less than 42 minutes. So, that was my experience, and I plan to return and give you guys updated and keep you posted on what's going on with me in nursing school. And if you like my videos, just make sure you hit the likes the button and subscribe, and stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Bye.